Is your team psychologically safe? Is it safe for interpersonal risk-taking? Does it give you the space to voice what is necessary? My story and the reason why I came up with the idea to work with group dynamics. The reason, or my personal backstory, is that for the last 6 years I've been living in a community living project or housing project. We've been living in a 500-year-old house, a really beautiful old house with a huge garden, and we shared the premises with 8 adults in total and 5 kids. And during the first couple of years everything has gone more or less fine. There have always been small fights, people moved in and out, but it was never about me really. During the last 2 years that story really turned bad for myself, because I was scapegoated for the last let's say year. We've been living there. Most of all of the pressure was upon me. I was eventually responsible or made responsible for everything that was going wrong in that place. Well, in the end, the last half year, I really suffered badly. Also, my wife and me suffered really badly. And in sort of a power struggle, we were more or less forced to move out of that place. And that was the condition, kind of being scapegoated, suffering from group dynamics gone wrong. That made me come up with the desire really to think about something, an app, an approach, a workshop. Of course, we in the end had someone who mediated us, the house, like the whole community, and that was more or less the job that I could have had in other contexts, but that didn't really help either. And frankly, I believe that most of the people would not have the money to pay someone to intervene in that type of situations. And so I thought about, okay, what is really the contribution that I can make with all that experience, with all that suffering? What is it that would help communities in similar situations, maybe earlier on in the pain circle, to achieve a greater awareness of what is going on, what are the opposing forces, how could feedback be given so that the communities could eventually resolve that type of situations themselves. My name is Joe Meyer. I'm an organizational psychologist from Zurich, Switzerland. In a company-wide study, Google identified psychological safety as the most significant indicator to distinguish between performative and less performative teams. A team is considered psychologically safe if every team member is encouraged and expected to speak up and share without fearing rejection, punishment or degradation. When you think, shall I mention that? Shall I speak up? Shall I voice what is on my mind or in my heart or in my stomach? Every time you make that calculation in your head, psychological safety is at play. Is your team psychologically safe? Is it safe for interpersonal risk-taking? Does it give you the space to voice what is necessary to achieve the common goal? Personally, I see 3 levels to conquer psychological safety. The first level is to voice and to share observations. Describe what you experience and ask the other person for their perception, level 1. Second level is to connect that description to your emotion. What do you feel when you are describing that situation? When you see X, what does that make you feel? What are the emotions that are triggered by your description? Level 2. Level 3, if you look at your description and the emotions that are triggered by that description, what are your fundamental needs? The elements that define the polarities of the tension scales. Try to find the right words to conquer psychological safety, because creative collaboration grows with every voice heard.